I am Chris O'Connor with Fabric Gems Boutique, and I am so excited to be here today. I have a special guest and actually a special friend. And actually, we got talking and missed our cue for 9:45. So we apologize for that. I just want to introduce you to Jane Stewart. She's with Moda Fabrics and Moda Fabrics and Supplies or Plus Supplies. And we met probably about a year ago.
Well, it's been a while, yes.
Year and a half ago when I, maybe 2 years now, 2021 actually.
It's been a while.
Okay.
Time flies.
Yeah, it does when we're having fun. We just have a great time when we get together. And she is my rep for Moda, and she brings me all these fun things that I get to choose from, books and patterns and fabric. And we're just kind of chat a little bit about a lot of different things today. Jane, tell us about yourself. And I thought this was pretty cool. Maybe you will too. She doesn't think it's a big deal. But, she used to make patterns and things. That's hard stuff to do, I think. Maybe it's not. So tell us about yourself.
Okay. Well, I started out, years and years ago when I was a young child. Let's just not belabor the point here. But my mother still had photos of when I was like 5 years old. Not photos, pictures, sketches of what I was doing, designing clothing. So that was my first love. My mother was a garment sewer, just an extremely talented seamstress. My grandmother actually made quilts and garments. So
Wow.
she was very talented as well. So growing up with a sewing machine and needle in hand was always something that was part of my past. So naturally, as time went on, I learned how to sew, loved garment sewing, and actually went to college and earned my degree in clothing and textile design. So I have a very extensive textile background as well, which served me well because the job that I had for 22 years in Dallas for a manufacturer involved garment washing, and we had our own laundry and did our wet processing of like jeans and jackets and skirts. We did a lot of work for catalogs. We had our own private label as well as our own road line. So we were doing a lot of different things. I was the head of design and pattern making for all those years. And then that was the way I met my husband. Well, he was not my husband. He was my future husband at that point. He was actually a Moda rep. And he had come in to see an assistant for another division in the company. And she came into my office where I was making a pattern. And she said, I think you need to see this line. It's all cotton and it's really cool. So I went in and I met the guy and did not know who he was with. I thought I knew everybody in the industry, but did not know him. But it was because he sold quilting cottons, not apparel fabric. And I said, well, this would have been all great about 2 months ago, but I'm past this season. So, bring something back next time. So as time went on, we started talking and we talked about fly fishing and things that were very common to us. And lo and behold, we got married. And that's the beginning of how I became a Moda rep. Was 5 or 6 years later. My old job, everything was going overseas. Our type of product was not good for overseas making. And so he asked if I would help him in the Metroplex area of DFW to help show and sell fabric. I said, well, I know about fabric, but I don't know anything about quilting notions and all that. So he said, oh, you'll learn that. So slowly over time, 17 years later, I have, and
Wow.
I do make quilts and etc. Garment sewing is still a love of mine. So that's how I got into becoming a Moda rep. And it's been an incredible journey. The company is wonderful. The people are wonderful. The product is fabulous. The cottons are wonderful to work with. And I truly enjoy sewing, and still to this day do a lot of sewing with different projects, not only garments and quilts, but some things that we will show as well that are connected to some of our designers and patterns and panels and stuff.
Wow, that's impressive. I don't have a resume like that, but
Not a big deal. Just life.
this has been a fun journey for me, as many of you know, and this has been a short journey, but I'm planning on making it a long journey because 3 years ago, 4 years ago, about 3.5 years ago, my life changed completely. So I've always loved sewing. I want everyone else to love sewing. And so that's why I do this. I love fabric. I love touching it, feeling it, all that kind of stuff. I wanted you guys to see an example of when she comes to my home. Yes, she comes to my home. I don't have a brick and mortar. As you can see, I've got lots of different bolts behind us, and there's a lot of Moda in here. I have some mixture, but she brings me samples, and then that's what I get to choose from for you guys. And I never thought of this before until recently. I'm actually a buyer for
Yes.
my own company,
Yes,
right?
you are.
Way back in the day, I always wanted to be a buyer. I never knew I was going to be one. But I'm telling you, it's probably the biggest challenging part of any store. And it does not matter if it's online or if it's in-house or brick and mortar.
True.
What do you guys like? What's the newest trends? What are you going to purchase? What are you going to sew? What are you going to make? What are you going to create? So I want to say that last year I guess it was the beginning of the year, maybe, Jane had come out and showed me a lot of fabrics and some fun things that she was doing. Every pet, what was it? Every pet type fabric and everything. If you bought bolts, she was contributing so much money to a pot to give to a charity.
Yes, that is correct.
Explain that a little more. I just think that's so awesome.
One of the Moda designers, and she's actually, and I will be showing you one of her projects. One of my favorite designers is Stacy Chu, and she started many years ago making panels, designing panels that would do dolls and stuffed animals and different things over the years. She's done barns and little houses, and it just continues. She's incredible. Fabric books. And so there were a couple of lines that came out last year. They shipped in August, and one was the kitty line and dog days. And there were two different panels. And I decided at that point, because I'm an avid animal lover, I love dogs, cats, you name it. I'm an avid animal lover. And so I decided at that point that any bolt of panels that my shops would buy, I would contribute $5 per bolt to Operation Kindness, which is here in the Metroplex area. And it is a no-kill shelter. I contribute household goods. They come around and they if you want to like donate household items, they have a thrift store as well. So I had already been doing that for a number of years. But I decided at that point, I'm going to contribute monetarily for any bolt that my customers would buy. I would contribute $5 to Operation Kindness. And when it was all said and done, it was around $400 that I contributed.
Wow, that's awesome.
To Operation Kindness. And so it was really good because they are a no-kill shelter and they do their best to foster and raise awareness of getting pets spayed and neutered, etc. So I'm just very happy with that and being able to do that with some of the Stacy panels. That was really, really a fun journey there.
I bet. Well, I didn't even, honestly, I love the fabric and I love the panels and I thought it'd be fun to have in my store. Actually, some of it I think is on sale at my Etsy store. So wink, wink. But I didn't realize until afterwards, and I'm sure she told me, but I got this nice little letter from you, or email letter, and it's described everything that she did. And I was like, I was so honored to be part of that.
Yes.
And I didn't even realize I was part of it. But I love to give to charities. I think it's so important to give back to the community. I was at a conference yesterday all day I got there at 7 a.m. and I got home at 10 o'clock last night. So it was a long day, but they had a charity there too. And I gave $25 to this charity. I think it's such an important part of the mission, right?
It is.
And
it is.
I know how hard it is for charities to keep going and get things done. And it doesn't matter what charity is, whatever charity is that you absolutely love. Even time. even giving time.
Volunteering. Exactly.
Volunteering is so important, and I love the aspect of all that. So kudos to you.
And thank you to my customers for purchasing those panels.
Yeah.
It was not something I was pushing. I mentioned it in one of my newsletter emails to customers. And then when they would purchase a panel, I would say, thank you, in person, I'm doing this. And then after the fact, when everything, I sent out a thank you letter, and it was awesome to be able to do that. So, it is, but I see so many of my customers also giving back through either like Quilts of Valor or Project Linus pillowcases. They do a tremendous job of just contributing to the community for disaster efforts. If there are tornadoes or any kind of disasters, there are quilts being made immediately to be sent off to those people. So it just, or they raise money for causes as well. So that to me is so important. It's like you said, Chris, you have to follow your heart with whatever charity you do get involved in. Like for me, it is animals. That is one of my big heart throbs there. But follow your heart, because like with fabric, we love fabric. That's why we are in this industry. This is why we buy fabric. This is why we make things out of fabric. But for so many, there's a certain degree of nostalgia involved. Of it touches us in some way from our past, from either our childhood or what we love. There's just certain things, colors or textures, that's what draws us to certain things. Because, like for instance, Moda and other fabric vendors, we have a wide variety of fabrics. As you will see, I'm going to show a few. And that variety is because we can't just touch one person. We have to touch many with our fabrics. And so that's what
we all have different ideas and different likes and decorating and clothes and style and fashion, and we're not all the same.
We are not. We all have different tastes and backgrounds, and that's,
some people love the bright colors, some people like the subdued colors, some people only like black and white, the grayscale. I mean, it's such a, well, obviously, you look around, you can't see a lot of them, but I mean, it's a variety of different styles, different kinds, layer cakes, charm packs, jelly rolls, you name it, kits, Shannon Fabrics, Riley, Blake, Moda. I know there's others out there too, Benartex, and I know there's several others, but we all have different ideas of what we want and what we want to share. And so I'm excited about that. Congratulations for that. And thank you for bringing me along that journey. And just know, I'm publicly saying, if you have another journey like that, I want to be involved. Because I really love to help support charities. That's one of my goals and dreams that I write down every day, is to be able to help more charities financially, personally, however they need the help. Because I think you have no idea how it can change one person's life, one animal's life, whatever it is.
Absolutely.
You take it for granted, but I promise you, on the other end of that, you just have no idea how you can touch somebody. So anyways, we'll stop there. But I wanted to bring Jane in also to show you kind of what she does with me with some of the fabric samples. And I'm going to move some of this stuff off. Let's see. Get rid of the captions so we can see a lot. Yes, you'll see my name, but let's start showing us what. I'll show you a little bit
about what's coming forward, and then I'll go and regress backwards to kind of things that are possibly available now. So I was speaking of Stacy issue earlier, and this is one of the panels. I'm going to try to get it on camera as much as possible. Oh my God,
that's adorable.
So this collection is a new one that Stacy has developed. It's called Back to School. And what this particular panel will make is this cute little monkey backpack.
Oh, how fun.
So it's just an adorable little backpack for those first school days or preschool days. It has a little zipper pouch to put your pencils or little school supplies. as I've been saying, you're chewing gum, you're not supposed to chew in class. But the lining is included. It's a little, I call it the nanner lining.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a panel. This collection is actually going to ship in June of this year. It's called Back to School. And just to show you, I'm going off camera now, the rest of the collection, Stacy worked in very bright primary colors into this grouping.
Oh my God. When I was teaching art, that would have been awesome.
Absolutely, because she has some of these prints that, you know, have art supplies on them, scissors, paper clips, your Big Chief tablet. So just cute things, you know, even teachers would love this for bulletin boards, etc.
I love that.
So this is what Chris gets to see. And of course, we have pre-cuts available on this collection.
Look how adorable.
Fat quarter bundles,
Look
jelly
how
rolls,
adorable. Oh my God.
Could even make some really cute nap mats, etc. for your kiddo, you know, if they're going to a preschool or something where they need a nap mat.
And here's what's nice is, you know, you wonder how to put fabrics together. They do it for you.
And
they do it for you.
What's nice about Moda is that we do have fabric samples to look at, the touch of the real product. There are some vendors out there who do not have these. And so I'm very blessed and privileged to have actual fabric samples, because this takes a lot of extra time and money to make these.
And obviously you can tell I'm a primary color kind of girl, because this is filled with them. And the brightness, the funness, oh my God, yes. If you've got a teacher, or if you are a teacher, ooh, look out for these fabrics, because honestly, you're going to love them for your classroom.
They're fun. So that is going to be one of the things. And I always make these projects up so that my customers, my shops can see them. And I also give tips on what might make it a little easier or make it a little better or more fun. Like sometimes I'll add some extra padding in the ears or things like that just to make it stand out. So that is called Back to School. Another line that is further down the road, but I'll give you an opportunity to see how Chris gets to look at things as well. This is a new line from Joanna Figueroa of Fig Tree Designs. And when I'm showing these collections, I'm also showing things like the patterns that will be shown back with this collection. So there are a number of patterns. This actually is going to be a kit that's available.
Okay.
So we do have that capability, but then just different patterns, and we show the requirements of what goes with the collections. And what I love about this collection from Joanna is there was a line that she did a few years ago called All Hallows Eve. And it was an extremely popular line. It was basically fall/Halloween colored, but without being pure Halloween. And if you out there know anything much about Moda, we pretty much print these collections once and that's it. It's one and done. All Hallows Eve was so popular, we actually reprinted it 3 times. So that was highly unusual. So what I love about this collection is that she has elements of All Hallows Eve, but she has also incorporated these indigos and blues into this line with some of those deeper tangerines and spice tones that she did.
She's speaking my language now, because I'm a blue girl. Look at that. Look how pretty that is. What can you create? Tell me what you can create with this. I want to hear. Put in the comments what you'd like.
So Joanna has done a myriad of things. I don't have it in here, but she's also done a 9-patch cheater, which she is making tote bags out of it.
Oh, wow.
So she's doing other projects besides just quilts with this.
Beautiful. Look at this beautiful fabric. Fabricaholics unite.
And then she progresses into a little bit lighter tone, incorporating the lighter
beautiful
colors,
for spring.
Things that can be used for backgrounds as well.
Oh my gosh.
And then she goes back into that archival mode from All Hallows Eve and cinnamon and spice with these deeper tones.
Look at how pretty that is.
So these could be definitely made into like some fall pumpkin quilts like she showed things like that. Table runners, etc.
Super pretty. Super. Look at that. Oh, you guys, you're getting some sneak peeks.
Yes, this one is going to ship in August, so it's very much a sneak peek of Denim and Daisies from Big Tree.
Let me know if you want me to order it.
And then we're going to backtrack a little bit. One of my most favorite designers personally, she's just the sweetest, most talented woman that I think I've ever run across, and just uber talented, is Deb Strain. And Deb, besides just being so talented, she's so sweet and just so humble. She just is an incredible person. Can't say enough really wonderful things about her.
Oh, look how pretty.
But this is her collection, Woodland Winter. And Deb hand paints all of this artwork. This is not computer generated. In fact, at our fall market in Houston, she had gessoed the background piece of the snowflake onto a canvas, and she was hand painting this panel onto the canvas, replicating it.
Different
while
colors.
People were just looking over her shoulder. And I went over to her, I said, Deb, does that make you nervous, people watching you paint? And she goes, no, Jane, it's just relaxing to me. I go, yeah, for you, it's relaxing.
Oh, I'd be so stressed.
Be stressed out. But she just hand paints all this gorgeous artwork.
Wow.
And then we take that artwork and translate it into the process to make the flatbed screens to screen print these. So this is the rest of the collection, Chris. I'll let you show it while I talk about it. Deb went more this time with a winter collection. It's not purely a Christmas collection. So you could make projects and quilts out of these fabrics that have an extended life beyond just the holiday season, incorporating the wildlife. She has some beautiful winter blues in here.
Oh my goodness.
So some of the pieces will nod into holiday, like the cardinals, people's perennial favorite bird for Christmas, and pine cones. But she does definitely have an emphasis on the wildlife on this group.
Look at the cardinals. Look at the cardinals.
And I had so many people, because of course we're based in Texas. I live in Dallas. Say, oh, I'm so thankful that she put deer on this rather than moose or elk, because we have deer here in Texas.
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
More so down in southern Texas, but
I don't know, Chris. I have avoided some on the roads up here in North Texas.
I have not seen any.
You have to be careful up here. Deer can run out in front of you.
Just look how pretty. I mean, even look how pretty this plaid is. What a great table runner that would be. What a great tablecloth. What a great napkins. All these ideas are coming to me. What do you think?
Making tree skirts, etc.
Oh my
stockings,
gosh. Yes.
all of that.
Yes.
So that collection is shipping in May. It's called Woodland Winter. Again, we will have the pre-cuts available of that collection. And then fast forwarding a little bit also back to August, Moda also produces the Ruby Star collections, Ruby Star Society. And the 5 designers came to Moda several years ago, and they are still working independently for different collections, but every once in a while they'll do some collaborative groups. And what I find about the Ruby Star collections is I personally gravitate towards them. So many people think that they're very modern. And I've worked pretty extensively with some of them into garments. They're not really modern. They're very vintage, but with a modern twist.
I would say that. Yeah, I would agree with that.
In fact, I was working on a skirt here. I think it might have been a year and a half ago. And the whole time I was working on this skirt, and it was from the Elixir collection from Melody Miller. I was getting this vibe that I was working on a 1940s garment.
Wow.
Yeah, I really was. It was like I was all of a sudden like transported in the music. I was like, big band era here.
Oh, fun.
So yeah, it was fun. It was a different experience with that particular fabric. And one of the other reasons I love Ruby Star fabrics for garments particularly is because it's printed on a 76 square cotton. So it's a little bit softer finer grade of cotton
Mm-hmm.
that is very conducive. It's silky soft, and it's awesome to work with. So I really enjoy working with the Ruby Star collections. But again, one of those lines that kind of gives me a vintage vibe in some respects is this one called Favorite Flowers. And this is a
That's
collaborative
so
collection
pretty.
from the 5 Ruby
Look
Star
how pretty
designers.
that
And this one in
is.
particular gives me that vintage vibe.
Oh my gosh. It reminds, you know what it reminds me of? My grandmother.
Yeah.
This is what I mean, Wisconsin and my grandmother. This is what
Yes.
that reminds me of.
So while some people look at the color palette as being very eclectic and modern, in some respects it's not. In fact, there was one collection one time, I swear that the print was an offshoot of a rayon smock print that my grandmother had. That was just awesome. I still have the garment.
Wow.
So
Look
yeah,
how pretty, you guys.
yeah, it was the twirl collection.
You're getting the sneak peeks. Wow. Just love these colors. And I don't usually go for these kind of colors, but they're soothing to me. Is it
They
because
are.
I'm old?
No,
I mean,
don't think
I
so.
feel comfort from it. I mean, it's giving me the chills just thinking about it.
Yeah.
But they're not muted, they're soft, right? There's a difference between a mute and a soft.
Correct.
I don't know, they just feel,
they still have some color intensity and delineation.
dainty. Would that be a right word?
What's that?
Feminine, dainty.
Yeah, definitely have some feminine qualities about them.
Look how pretty.
So again, this is a collaborative group between the 5 designers, and after you've looked at the Ruby Star collections for a while, you can definitely tell who designed what.
Oh, I bet.
It's funny. They have a distinctive look, but they are very careful to work together on their color
But that's
palettes.
the whole point of Ruby Star,
Yes.
right?
They work together even when they're doing independent collections so that their colors mesh back and forth. And so that's what's very nice. And then they do some substrates. Like this is a 70 cotton, 30% linen.
Oh, you can feel the difference.
Yes, it's great for pillows, handbags,
yeah.
garments, etc. So Favorite Flowers, again, it's going to
What do you love, guys? What do you love?
August.
Wow.
And on top of that, they have some very high quality cotton backing. So these are 108-inch.
Oh, yeah.
And I've got some people who make garments out of these because they're super wide, and you can cut just about anything you want to out of these wide backings just for garments.
Yeah.
So just beautiful, beautiful fabrics.
Pretty. Very pretty.
So that is Favorite Flowers. And then fast forwarding backwards, we're going to rewind. This is a collection that has just started hitting the stores. It is called Old Glory, and it is by a designer. Lella Boutique is her design studio. So Old Glory features this wonderful panel, Sweet Land of Liberty.
Look how pretty that is.
And what I love about this collection is that it can go patriotic with so many of the prints, but it doesn't have to. And she's incorporated some other blues as well as grays in here, which take it into a little bit different realm. She did a New York Beauty, kind of a cheater panel, but this would be just fantastic for pillows or incorporating into bags, even using it for a backing for a smaller size quilt.
Look how pretty that is.
So very, very
If you don't
artwork.
quilt, you can pretend like you do.
Absolutely.
And make this your quilt.
And then the collection itself, like I said, you will be able to see she's got some beautiful, beautiful deep reds in this group.
Yeah.
There are reds that I love coming from my garment background that have more of a little bit of a blue cast to them because they become blue friendly, denim friendly. But her reds are gorgeous here. And she did a little bit of a different artwork on this collection where it's a bit more of a distressed type of look. You'll see that more in the ticking stripe, the oversized ticking stripe than you will see anywhere else. But just some really pretty prints in this grouping. Again, you can go either very patriotic with it or you can do something floral with it. So that's what's the nice thing about this collection is the versatility. The other thing,
I'm saying that a lot, but it's just pretty.
It is. The other nice thing that Vanessa does with her collection, she invariably has these wonderful dots some of them being multicolored, some of them not, just being tonal. And I'm giving you just a sneak heads up, bug in your ear. There's a line of what's called her magic dots that I will have
Oh,
in
yeah.
my next release. It's nothing
Ooh.
but Vanessa's dots. So
Oh,
Vanessa,
just so
from
pretty, you
Moda
guys.
Boutique, yeah.
Just so pretty.
And it is such a pleasure showing these fabrics to my customers. Getting the new samples is just like Christmas. It's like, oh
It's
my
like a
gosh.
kid in a candy
Yeah,
store. I
yeah,
mean, I
I
love it
love
when
it.
you come over here and look, we're just taking a few minutes, like,
Yeah.
you know, 15, 20 minutes
Just
to
to
show
see
you.
a few
But
lines.
literally, we spend,
a bit of time.
yeah, I won't tell you how much, but quite a bit.
Well, it takes a while because, you know, like you said earlier, it's a very hard job being a buyer of fabrics and trying to figure out what trends that people are following out there. It's not just what we see, but what are people buying out there now, which will translate to what they buy, you know, 6 months from now, a year from now. Our designers are working on artwork that will probably be towards the end of next year when it gets shipped. So you have to kind of stay on top of what's going on now to extrapolate what will be coming down the pipeline later.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then a very, very beautiful collection here. This one is super fun. From a mother and daughter team. This is Sherry and Chelsea Stratton, Sherry McConnell. And
I have this.
Yeah,
I have
strawberry
this.
lemonade. So this is their hexagon flower garden cheater panel. Again, you can pretend that you paper pieced all of that yourself.
Yeah, you sure can.
And then just some really super fun fresh prints for spring. So I'll hand these over.
Yes.
And I love how they bridge these colors all together so that you can use this either in just a very cohesive fashion, or you can do it very scrappy. So again, a versatile collection with what you can do with these fabrics.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I believe I have these in, do you remember? I think it's
I slept since then.
Me too. I think I've got both the charm packs and the layer cakes in these, I believe. Oh, it's just so pretty.
Yep. And then here you have your strawberry colors.
Yes. What do you think, guys? We do have some watchers out there, but they're being quiet today.
Yeah. And then you have lemon lime. You have to have some lemon lime to add to your strawberry.
Well, you know, here's its funny thing is we live in Dallas.
Yes.
It is February. Usually it's cold. We are having we're having our spring right now. I think it's been in the 70s.
80 the other day, low 80s.
Okay, yeah. 70s and 80s. Okay, that's crazy weather for us. I'm just knocking on wood that
it's awesome.
March is not going to bring in another crazy cold spell, but it could happen.
It could. I've seen snow on Easter before.
As I said to Jane as she's walking in, it makes me feel like I want to play hooky and go play outside because it's so beautiful. And this reminds me of all of that. So
yeah,
that's kind of in a nutshell what she does. Of course, you know, we usually have a room full of stuff, right? She brings like 4 or 5 bags in, and bless her heart, still carrying all that stuff. And you know, the card, what do you call these? The portfolios,
the patterns and prints.
You know, there's just so much to look at. And I thought it would be fun to share with you guys what we do when she comes. And I would love to hear your inspiration. What did you like? What are you looking for? Do you have a certain designer that you love? You know, do you like the mother-daughter team, Sherry and Chloe, or Chelsea?
That's all right.
And
trying to read upside down.
I knew it was Chelsea. I don't know why I said Chloe. You know, what do you guys like? You know, I mean, me purchasing all this, for me to have it sitting on my shelves, yeah, I love it. But it's more for you guys. So what do you love? And what would you like to see come in my Etsy shop? So one last thing. Well, What would be a great tip that you could give our audience that could help them, whether it be sew, whether it be cut, whether it be patterns, whether it be choosing fabric, whether
I'll give
I didn't
give a
tell her we
couple.
were doing this.
No, this is a curveball.
This is a curveball, just popped in my head. But I've got the expert of
No, I'm no
over
expert.
20 years, right, in this kind of industry. So
No expert here. But I will say that if my garment sewing person and younger person knew what this older person knows now, I don't say older, I say seasoned. That sounds better.
yeah, we are seasoned.
I've picked up some things from being in this side of the industry in the quilting world that I would not have known otherwise. Picking up tools and things that I would not have known about just coming from the garment side. So I'll elaborate on that for just a minute. But if I've got any tip for someone who is brand new, it's always and I'm not trying to upsell anything, but go for the better quality tools. Don't start with a cheap pair of scissors that you picked up at the local place or whatever online that you think is a good buy. Go for a good quality pair of scissors or rotary cutter, because let me tell you, if you're making things, cutting is going to be one of the things you're going to be doing. And I will tell you, a good cutting tool or any other kind of cutting tool that makes your life easier will make the process and the journey so much more pleasurable. So for me, that's the main thing. Even with sewing machines, if you're out there and you've got a budget, I would encourage you, rather than to go to a big box and pick up the thing they have on special, is to go to your local sewing machine dealer and see what they may have, even as far as a really good, better quality used machine. A lot of your sewing machine dealers have some wonderful bargains on some pre-loved sewing machines that you will have a much better experience with those than picking up something cheap that's going to break your thread and it won't work properly. So that's my first tip is just, if you're starting out, get good quality as best as you can afford. You can graduate on up to the very higher quality later if you want to, but don't go for the low end cheapest thing just because you think that's going to get you through, because it will turn you off of doing certain things.
It'll discourage you, really.
It will
honestly
discourage you.
I come from the garage door world, and we had lots of tools that had to be used, and we always, as much as it killed us, right, for the expense, we always paid for the high quality tools. Why? Because it made our technicians a lot more efficient.
Mhm.
And I learned that lesson 20 years ago, probably longer than that. But previous to garage doors, my father always said, buy the right tools before the job. It makes it so much easier. And then you won't have to struggle and get frustrated.
Correct.
So that was a great tip, you guys, because I wholeheartedly agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it might be a few more dollars, but those few more dollars you pay up front will make it last that much longer.
Exactly.
And so usually what happens, people start buying the inexpensive items, the $5, $10 items, right? And in a year or two, they're buying the $5 and $10 items again. A year and two, well, you could have invested, say, $30. I know scissors are all over the place. I'm just guessing at a price, right? More for scissors, let me tell you. And the scissors that I bought, I mean, love. I use them to help cut fabric for you guys, and it makes my job a lot easier. But in that same time frame, I still have the same scissors.
Right.
I can get them sharpened. They will sharpen a whole lot nicer at a sewing center than the ones that are more like disposable. So if you want to do this and you want to have fun doing this and you enjoy doing this, I wholeheartedly agree with Jane. Get the better tools. It's worth it. And it's worth to save your pennies to get the better tools. Oh my gosh. I just want to say thank you so much. I got this hat yesterday. I hope we inspired you to sew more, to purchase more fabric, like we all need it, like a hole in the head, but it's still fun. Thank you, Jane.
Thank you. You were wonderful. Thanks, Chris.
Bye, guys. See you next time.